My funeral was 20 minutes ago, and I'm still here. It's weird to think I'm one of them now. Time doesn't exist anymore. I can be the version of myself I want. As I pass through here, I see my whole life. I can't go before I'm finally in peace with myself. The last time I was here was when my mother died. I never went to a funeral again. I always hated funerals. In fact, I would have skipped even my own funeral if I could. People say funerals are for the alive, but I'm here to prove otherwise. Why my mother died, I question why I was so heartbroken. She was not a great person. Being sad in a moment like this is normal, even if the late one was a prick. But I should have been merely sad during that day, not heartbroken. It took me a while to understand why I was so devastated. These flowers are for her. Despite everything, she was my mom. She never asked for forgiveness, but I do forgive her. It took me a while to realize what that pain was. My tears were not just for my mom. I couldn't even tell what funeral I was anymore. I traveled in time and was forced to revive my worst memories. My mother never accepted the things I like. She wanted to write my own story on my behalf. That coffin was heavy. It carried much more than my mother's body. It was carrying everything I couldn't live because of her.
But do not mourn my passing. You are not left alone. You'll always find me.
This is Jessica, my wife.
In the places.
I never wanted to marry her, but I did so because of my mom. At least Jessica is a great woman. And thank God I learned how to appreciate her. My life would have been miserable otherwise. She was not the love of my life, but she was a great partner. I'll be forever thankful to her. Sometimes you just have to accept what life gives to you. I didn't want to marry Jessica, and I know I would have been happier if I had followed my dreams instead, but I can't say I had a bad life with her. I wanted to be a pianist, but my mom forced me to be a lawyer. I was good at my job. I did it with passion, but as a pianist I think I would have conquered the world. This is Claire. She was a violinist and she was taking piano classes with me. She was the one I wanted to marry. We were in love and we started living together. This was a time of my life I didn't care what my mother wanted. I wish things had stayed like that. Those were the happiest years of my life, but nothing is forever. As time passed, we changed and so did our relationship. We still loved each other, but our love evolved and typical issues of the married life started to come. Bills, responsibilities, conflicts, and so on. Despite all that, she was always there for me. Until she wasn't. A cancer took her life at 31 years old. She was diagnosed right after we broke up. She never told me anything. Suddenly, I was alone again. Just like when I was a kid, the only company I had was the piano. Every single day of the rest of my days, I regretted that I didn't try harder to save us. Nothing could prevent what happened, but I wish I could have taken care of Claire during her last days. I thought I would never fall in love again, but life surprised me. Anya, a girl I met during college, was back at my life. She's the daughter of one of my mother's best friends. Unlike Claire, she had money and a career, which is why my mother liked her. It was too good to be true. I was in love with a woman my mother approved. Except she didn't love me back. She married another man. They were both there during the funeral of my
It's
mom.
not the end, for love goes on.
After
And you'll
that,
find
I
the
married Jessica.
evidence long
I had no time to
after
pursue
I
love
have
again. A couple years later, I received the news that my childhood teacher and mentor, Michael, had passed away. I hadn't spoken to him in decades. He was like a father to me, the father I never had because my dad died before I was even born. I failed with Michael. For 30 years, I didn't spoke with him. But I'm glad he had a great life at least, full of success and fame. He died shortly after Mom, and I didn't go to his funeral. I wanted to preserve the Michael I had known as a kid. He died of cancer, as did Claire, and as did my mom. When I got my own diagnosis of cancer, I killed myself before this shit was able to kill me. I was old and I had lived all I could live. I didn't have children, and I couldn't take any of my dreams back at this stage. This was a good point to end it all. I didn't have the life I wanted, but I did have a good life. I loved. I grieved. I dreamed. I had the privilege to meet some great people. Things could have been better, but I'm fine with what I had. It's no time to regrets.